So this time around, we're gonna start off with the new moon, and sound healing. I mean new moon reading, doing our reflections and everything, and then we're gonna go into sound healing. And to become a paid subscriber, it is very inexpensive for this month, $33 for the full year. So for the full year, you get sound healing every Sunday. um, yes, the yoga was beautiful. Thank you. I'm channeling my Batala energy today, even though it's Ogun Day. Thank you. Thank you. I was telling Jackie she's the queen of surprises. I didn't know it was gonna come out today. But for those of you who don't know, and for I'm posting this on YouTube, so sometimes I have to talk to two audiences. Go to Black Stack. I'll leave the link in the description, and you will see this post I wrote. Jackie had told me a story. She had told us in the fellowship. She was talking about how if I come back, I'm always coming back black. She was like, I want to do a series about that. And I had already been thinking about ain't gotta do nothing but stay black and die. And so I was like, well, I'm gonna just send you this. You let me know how you feel. And I sent it. Um, and she was like, okay. Jackie. She was like, okay. um, she liked it. And she put it on there. Hey, mama, thank you for joining. You're famous. I text you the article from Black Stack. I'm not sure if you saw it, but yes. So this article is live today. I'll be posting it and sending it to some other friends and family so they know. I don't think they're on Substack like that, but they can at least read it. Yes. That's the lady who stayed in the library for hours to name me. So we give thanks for her. Okay. So no further ado, I am going to start soon. If y'all, oh, let me say this. The new moon ceremonies, we do reflections and things as well. When I give readings, be it for personal or group, I like to, um, I don't like it just to be a reading. I like it to be a process, a ceremony. So you'll be having some reflection questions because we're going to do a bit of shadow work, especially with our inner child. So if you would grab your journals, if you don't have them already, and just hit that heart button when you're ready, when you have it. Okay. New moon is in Capricorn. I was born that way. Okay. 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 Thank you. Okay. Okay, Misha. Um, please don't drop your phone in there. I'm starting today at 10:30. Usually I'm started at 12, but I may push it up to 11 because I know that Jackie posts every I'm not sure if it's every Sunday, but I know it's every few Sundays, the book club on Sundays at 12. And I don't want people to miss that or feel like they have to be conflicted. And so today we are gathered here to for the new moon for the new moon in Capricorn. New moons are all about new beginnings. Mhm. New beginnings. And I want some messages specifically around our inner child. What healing do we need to do to bring forth the talk? The cards are really wanting to talk today. Really wanting us to talk today. What energies do we need to bring forward to the new moon reading? Do we need to integrate so that we can plan for this long, long, long term? Sure. Okay. So, got you. Got you. Okay, so for the cards are speaking a lot. Um, so for this new moon in Capricorn, as some of us may know, it's all about new beginnings. The new moon is planting the seeds for our manifestations. And when it's in the energy of Capricorn, we want to look long term at our long term goals. So for a lot of us right now, not just externally what's going on in the world, but for a lot of us, it can seem like a lot of things are quote unquote falling apart. And they're falling apart so that they can come together. It's not a falling apart and there won't be any solutions. So for right now, for this new moon in Capricorn, it's important to take an honest look at all the things that are quote unquote crumbling around you and what you might be holding on to that needs to go away, even if it may have felt beneficial in your past. Now it's time to let it go. Now it's time to just look at what new energy and new beginnings can come from it. So this Ace of Swords energy that's crossed by this tower means that in our minds have been thoughts of things that we may have wanted to do, things we may have been fearful about pursuing. Um, and because of because this is crossed by the tower, our minds may have also been very chaotic with all of the new ideas that have been there. We may have been feeling very, very paralyzed. Now is the time for us to cut through all the chaos, cut through all of the questioning about what may be happening, what could be happening, and just focus on one of those thoughts, a few of those thoughts to bring it through. Because a lot of the cards that fell away when I was shuffling to bring in that was the God of Swords too. And so this is basically the King of Swords, whereas this Ace of Swords is very new beginning. The King knows. Look, he has clarity. He knows what to do. He knows how to bring forth this new reality. Mind matters most. And I always tell people that there are two brains or there are two minds. We have our brain who wants to protect us, wants to not have us grow, wants to keep us kind of stuck in this tower, focus on, oh my God, we need to hold on to the pieces. And then there's our mind that's malleable, that's all about the change. And so mind matters most, meaning when we're meditating, that stillness and that peace and that calm that we feel when we're doing that, that's the mind we want to invoke and call on when we're planning, when we're thinking about these new beginnings. That these cards are bringing forth. It's spiritual first, always, then it's our minds, And what's happening in our minds affect our emotions, and then what's affecting our emotions affect our realities. So when we say it's how you feel that's bringing forth, it still starts with that mind first, though. We really have to do a very good job at protecting our mind during this time. Stop allowing I know there's a lot of stuff happening in the media right now, a lot of stuff happening in this world, but if you can, do your best to be in your own energy, in your own thought patterns. The energy that wants to come forth is this Nine of Pentacles energy. This is abundance. This is good things. Once we have this abundance, we're able to stand in our power, stand in our because we see all this yellow that's there, right? So whenever I see yellow, I'm thinking solar plexus. I'm thinking our personal power. I'm thinking our that fire within us. Even though we have the it's pentacles, which is earth element, we have to understand the Ace of Wands too falls right after this Nine of Pentacles. But with this Nine of Pentacles, like I was saying, this is our abundance. This is our material manifestations. Because we are in Capricorn right now, that's another earth element. We're wanting to bring in that home abundance. What does our home look like? Is it rocky right now? For me, I'm in a very transitional state. So I'm working on bringing abundance. How is my mind, my mental state affecting that? What the Ace of Wands tells me, this new beginning, this new fire, tells me that in order to bring about this stability, to bring about all of this array, these blessings, I must start to do and act upon some of the things that are in my mind that are in alignment with my higher self. So this energy, this fire, this is creativity energy, right? This is our passions. And oftentimes, what we wanted to do as a child, which is why I always like to think about when I think about planning long term, I'm like, all right, what did I want to do as a child? What were my thoughts? What were my feelings? What were my intentions? Our inner selves oftentimes know the answers because there was no fear there. We could create worlds just with our minds, without chaos. At times, sometimes, depending on our upbringing, we could. And so, if we do these new beginnings of bringing in this array, honing in onto our fire, practicing our passions, this goddess of one's energy is our outcome, overall outcome, right? Goddess of one energies, God of Wands also fell when I did that big shuffle. So we have Mama and Papa here, right? um, with this, it's like Mama is saying because she's our outcome energy, this is that energy that's like she wants to create. So it's not enough to just think in this moment and to plan out. We are going to have to do some doing. So I like to look at SMART goals from a completely different standpoint. I know if we work in the matrix, they look at and view SMART goals very differently, right? It's very much so the the way they measure things is different. You may have a goal, say that you want to, I'll say something like publish on Substack every week, right? Do something like that every week. It may not look like I want to sit down and write. It may look like I want to go and experience something new so that I can make sure I'm always inspired, that my creative force is always ignited. How do we know if the ideas are in alignment with our higher self? Is that the feeling of stillness that tells us? Please elaborate. Sure. So for me, it is in that spirit of stillness, but that's also why I always talk about knowing who we were before we were indoctrinated with a bunch of stuff. And it's also why I say it's important for us to stay away from the media and all of the craziness that's happening. Because in the stillness, in our meditative state, we can see what it is that we want to bring forth from our own selves and not what we may have been coached on from family, friends, loved ones, but literally from ourselves. Water is a good way for me to always get clarity on what I want, or what I wanna do going forward. I drink water, a lot of it sometimes if I'm feeling really rocky. I also am very intentional about the tea blends that I make for myself so that I can have my mental stability. Because if my mind is in a chaotic space, this energy here, this, 7 of Wands can look like a lot of chaos. This is also a card that fell out when I was shuffling. It can look like a lot of chaos from external forces, look like a lot of conflict amongst friends and families. When that's happening too, in addition to a lot of mental chaos, it's difficult to be clear on who we were or what we want or the things we want to bring in. So, alone time, stillness. I'm gonna pull some self-care cards too that's gonna bring forth some energy in terms of what we can do as well to get in alignment with our higher self. So I think that question will be answered. But temperance does fall, and she did fall as a card. Two of Pentacles fell as a card. Eight of Pentacles fell as a card as well. And with these three cards, it tells me straight up with temperance, everything in moderation. So if you have issue with drinking or you have a issue with overindulging, now is your time in anything, not just drinking, but you have issues with overindulging in anything. It could be scrolling on social media all the time. Now's the time to stop. It can be always engaging with people that have you feeling down or have you feeling in this very maybe feel good energy. Sometimes don't need to just feel good. Sometimes you need to feel what's really there, feel into reality. Temperance invites us to take a step back, be alone, um, cleanse ourselves so that we can heal. Two of Pentacles invites us to, yeah, yeah, exactly. Weed can be a tool, but for me, when I used to indulge, weed also kept me from my dreams. It hindered my dream space. It also hindered my clarity on a bunch of stuff. So everything in moderation, right? Everything in moderation. Two of Pentacles invites us to look at maybe the things that we wanted to do, because it may have been a lot of things. Get clear on them, choose wisely, and do those things. Because with the Eight of Pentacles following it, it talks about honing in on that knowledge base. So if I click on this one thing that I want to do, I'm all in on that and I'm gaining my knowledge on that thing specifically. We want to do things in harmony and in balance right now. All of this, Temperance, Two of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles is all about harmony and balance. Eight of Pentacles wants us to master those things that we're trying to bring into harmony. Eight of Pentacles speaks on mastery of those things. Let me see, it had me distracted, but I'm going back to the Sun. Back to the Sun. The weed people are funny. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna click on the self-care cards and ask what we should do to gain clarity on what practices should we partake in to gain clarity on aligning with our higher selves, to align with our higher selves. Aw, thank you, Luna. I love your name. Mm. Connect with your womb. I love womb work. Womb work is a good space, always a good space to gain clarity. Womb work is not necessarily anybody it's your sacral chakra, right? So anyone can do womb work. Anyone can tap into their emotions. Anyone can tap into their water. So, your emotions, like if they're cloudy, if you're unclear about what you feel, you're gonna have unclarity about what you can create, right? Even if you have a not so great relationship with your womb, even if you don't necessarily identify or feel pulled towards even calling it a womb or having a womb, because I know that we're dealing with women of all different ages, my mama included. Like, no matter what stage or area you are in your age, you can oh, hi, Sean. You can connect with your womb through your emotions, by way of your emotions. You never lose that energetic force, right? And so that water intake is what I love to do. What Misha does in the bath is another way to connect with your womb. Um, and it just depends on what herbs you're using when you put in put into your bath. Also, teas are a good way to connect with your womb. I love chaseberry. I love even peppermint. I love red raspberry leaf for the womb. I love I have a lot of womb teas that I make. Um, chaseberry, also called Vitex, red raspberry leaf, peppermint is also good. There is what's red clover that's also good. There are a lot that are in my hibiscus is good too. There are a lot that's in my repertoire, but I will make sure when I post this up, I'll leave it in the description about some womb teas that I love, um, and some herbs that I love. Connect with your womb is one thing. Also, with that, knowing or tracking your womb, your cycle to the moon, like when does she fall? Flow like water. Water always comes up. Um, water always comes up when you're talking about yes, got you. Water always comes up when you're talking about increasing your intuition, when you talk about clarity. Even if you go to the water and visit the water, I had this part of my journey where I go to the river every single day. Go to the water every single day. If you don't live near water, you can put water into a bowl, look in the water, like reflect on the water. Water is going to be your friend. When you're drinking the water, don't just drink it, pray over it, put your intentions over it. Water will be your friend whenever you're talking about connecting with your higher self. Abundance planning, right? So we're with the new moon, new beginnings. So it looks like spirit is wanting our plannings to be around abundance. What do we need to do, or how should our plans be to bring forth good energy, bring forth blessings, bring forth money straight up, bring forward stable home, prosperous home. What is going to be our plan there? So that's what our plan for the new moon needs to be centered around: abundance. Capricorn is a good sign to plan when it comes to money because a lot of Capricorn people love money, for better or for worse. Yes. Just reading the things here. Okay, okay, okay. Okay. But yes, water, and even when you visit the water, I don't want to input anybody's any I want to impose my beliefs onto anybody, right? So everything I say is if it aligns with you. River for me is always heavily associated with Oshun energy. I am Oshun's child. In Orisa communities, I am known as Oshun Banke, which means Oshun takes good care of me. Oshun takes care of my best interests. So whenever I go to the river, I always make it a ritual to pray to Oshun, offer honey to Oshun. I taste the honey first, and then I offer honey to her. If I have a bell, if you have nothing, remember your voice, your presence. If you can sing, if you can dance, those are also offerings that you can give to the river if you forgot anything. So if you have yourself, you haven't forgotten anything. Your presence is an offering. So okay. So when I pray to her, I'm always thanking first for what I already have, asking forgiveness for any because she's also really big on relationships with women, how we commune and relate with women. She's also big on children, how we're treating children. If you're having issues with your own children, go to Oshun. I always tell people that she helps children become more well behaved, is what people say. And so I love Oshun for all of those reasons. And so I go to her because she is a mother who can bring forth creations, not just physical children, but also what we create. So I go to her all the time for my creations needing clarity on. I go to Oshun to write a lot. I have a whole books and books of books of poetry that I just wrote at the river. So I say that to say, find your own relationship with water. It doesn't necessarily have to be Oshun at the river. She does, she rules over our fresh water. In my tradition, Isheshe, Oshun's the river, Oya's the river. Oya's also the wind, yes, and she's also a river deity, and Yemoja is also a river deity. However, in the diaspora, Yemoja or Yemaya is also known as the ocean, as well as Olokun in the ocean. Jay, the spirit of wealth, also lives in the ocean. So when we talk about abundance and we're talking about a lot of money, Oshun is good for that, but also in the ocean, if you live near the ocean, there's also a lot of abundance energy that you can work with there as well. Because I know I have a lot of West Coast people. So, yeah. And even though these Orisha are Orisha and we give them names, at the end of the day, they are nature spirits, right? And if you're talking, so when you're going to nature, be sure to leave nature better than what you came in with. So that's exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. Because can you practice this ritual even if you don't? If can you do this ritual even if you don't practice this religion? Um, with my spiritual practice, I always say yes because they are nature spirits, right? Treat nature good and know that what you're doing Oshun is the river, right? So it's like, even if you go there, for me, it's like, and you don't even know what Oshun is, you may have never spoke on it. You notice a lot of people go to water for reflections. That's because the river helps you with reflections. That's her energy. So even if you don't know it's Oshun, she's still gonna work with you because you're there. You're giving your practice. Nature is gonna work with you because you're there. You're giving it your practice. Your presence is a ritual, is an offering within itself. And I always say treat nature good. So if you practice any nature spiritual systems, you have to be part environmentalist. So don't be going there littering. If you give offerings, please, I've noticed a lot of this, especially in Atlanta, because there's a lot of Risha people there. They'll leave things or give offerings in plastic that does not biodegrade, or they will leave candles there burning, and it's like that's not something you want to do. Um, yeah, that's a tangent for another day. But be mindful of those things when you're at the river. Again, it's nature. Treat nature well, and nature will always treat you well. Regardless if you call on a name or not, just be really good to nature. So connect with your womb, flow like water, and abundance planning. And I've done the reading. Now what I'm gonna do is shadow work, and this is where your journals are gonna come in handy. Read. Yeah, you're at the sea. You're at the sea. So yours is there's still abundance. Like I said, Ajay, the spirit of wealth is there. as the sea. Olokun is there. If you practice Lukumi or Santeria, then they will say Yemaya is there. If you practice Isheshe, we don't associate Yemaya with the Yemoja with the ocean. But there are some of us who still practice Isheshe, and we say that the reason why she is the ocean is because when our ancestors traveled through the slave trade on those ships, her love extended to the ocean to help us cross. So that's why a lot of people associate her or can affiliate her with the ocean. I don't judge it either way. I've gone to the ocean, I prayed with Yemoya. Yemoya is Yemoja in my religion, and she or my spiritual system, and she is the mother of all, the great mother of all. Yeah. She is the great mother of all. And people tend to give watermelons to Yemoja. Fruit like oranges to Oshun, but just remember to take the little plastic stickers off. Now I'm going to do you can see me not saying things. It's because I don't wanna impose my stuff on people. But yeah, the ocean I love to work with because the rivers, they lead to the ocean. Whenever I go to the ocean, it's one of my main things to do is always to greet the ocean. And I get that people go there to do whatever they do, that's cool, but always greet the ocean. Again, you don't have to say anybody's name if you don't feel comfortable, but always greet the ocean. Ashe. Ashe. I received that read. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Because I was restricting myself, I forgot something. So with Olokun energy, he does deep, deep work. So that's your shadow work, your deep stuff that you may have been afraid of. He's just the deep energy of the ocean. Like not a lot of the ocean has been explored as we know. And he is for us, he's all of the ocean, but for anybody in the diaspora, he's that deep, deep ocean element. So and Ajay, who is the spirit of the very such close associated with Olokun, he because it's at the depths, there's so much wealth at the depths of the ocean that nobody knows about. So when you're doing the deep shadow work, which we're about to transition to, you're automatically calling in that Olokun energy. And because there's depths in the ocean that we don't even know that we don't have access to, scientists with all of their billions and gazillions of dollars still don't have access to. What is Jackie doing? I'm gonna read it in a minute. That's basically in reference to us. Like there are depths to ourselves that we don't that we haven't accessed. And in our depths lies great wealth. So go to the river, do that deep work. When I do this shadow work, that's the work that you're invoking. For me, I don't work with spirit as an external thing. That's why I say religion sometimes, but I'm never full into religion as it is in the Western standpoint because it's a way of life. It's literally what I do. So if I say I'm doing some Oshun work, I'm not necessarily with an Oshun shrine. I'm doing some deep wound work. I'm doing some deep self-reflection work. I'm drinking my water. I'm being sweet to myself. I'm treating women well. Treating twins well, children well. If I say that I'm doing some if I want to work with Eshu or Elegba, Papa Legba, whatever you may name him, I'm being honest and accountable in my words and my ways. I'm communicating well. I'm I'm making decisions that are in alignment with my highest self and not being like, "Oh, let me just give it to God when I did something wrong." Like, no, I say, "Okay, that happened. Let me just be accountable for it in that moment." When I have to kill a part of myself and be like, "Oh, shoot, I made a mistake. Let me not ever do that again." That's me working with Ogun, because Ogun is an Orisha in our tradition who's the railroad. If you do something that's bad, wrong, for instance, there are many Odu where Ogun may have, like, killed a bunch of people. Instead of being like, "Oh, my bad," or, "Oh, well, I'm a Orisha," Ogun would literally kill himself to be like, "Dag, I didn't mean to do that." But that's a symbolism to how some parts of us just needs to die off, and it don't take a long time for them to die off. So if I'm ever dealing with somebody who's like, "I gotta work through that," or, "I don't know how long it's gonna take me," they need to work with Ogun a little bit, and it's your inner Ogun. It's not nothing above us or like outside of us. It's this internal spirit. So a lot of people practice it, but it's not from an internal aspect. For me, everything is internal. It's the same thing with the Batala. I wear white cloth. He's the king of white cloth. Oshun was once the color was once white as well. And I have a post called "Are You Manifesting?" or "Energy Vamping" on my thing, and it talks about the story of why her color turned yellow. But anyway, Batala is the king of white cloth, and it's that clarity, it's that insight, it's that wisdom. So when I wear white, that's the energy I'm invoking. If I'm in ceremony, if I'm in reading, I'm in white because I know for me, that's the Orisha that works with me, right? I am Omo Oshun and I'm Omo Obatala. Obatala is my most senior, although I'm real heavy in Oshun as well. So, yeah, knowing yourself is what this practice is about, but a lot of people externalize it. And I get it. That's cool. And there's a deeper way that you can use it. So when you're in your baths, I know for me, when I'm taking a bath and I'm doing that deeper work, that's me doing Oshun work. If I'm in my herbs, that's another Orisha, like the earth in itself, the earth that we walk on is an Orisha. You get what I'm saying? So it's like that you have to internalize this information. It's not an external thing for me. And I align myself with people who practice the tradition in that way as well, because you'll meet a lot of people who practice these traditions as religions the way that they would have if they were practicing Christianity. And it's from an externalized standpoint in terms of like, I need to be scared when I go to SU because you know how SU is. How are you though? That's how are you? So how are you? Because you should be holding yourself way more accountable than SU is holding you, if you're being real about it. But yeah, let me read some of these comments because Jackie seemed to have been cracking up in here. Let me see what she's saying. Ashe. I appreciate y'all. Jackie. Okay, okay, okay. I don't resonate with working with anyone outside of me either, and that's why I'm very grateful. I know that the first lady I ever did Orisha work with, she called herself Sister Shaman, and even on all our IG, her stuff is named as Sister Shaman. She was very intentional about, like, internal work. It's not it's not external. These spirits live inside of us. If you get initiated, they're putting stuff in you for them to just be more amplified in you. It's not outside of you where they're being more amplified. It's in you. I say, thank y'all. Thank you. I really do appreciate this. And Earth is a strong energy too because you can I know there's women who bleed in the earth because I'm saying this because we got the card that says connect with your womb. So there are women who will put their blood in the earth. There are also people who will dig a hole, speak their issues to the earth and cover that hole. Um, that's another way to communicate. Right now, we're doing shadow work, and we want to get to our depths, and we want to know what's energy in our shadows that are hindering us from connecting with our higher self and keeping us from our abundance. And this is where your journals are going to come in handy, because I'm going to read some of these questions. And then after that, we will go into our sound healing. Whew. That's a beautiful card. Simplicity. Simplicity. So that is the gift. You see that card? See all those pretty, pretty colors? um, so never push spirit away from us. Let it tumble around inside us. Sure. And for those of you who want to go deeper in some of my my teachings, I do have a cohort that starts February 1st. I'll put a link when I post this. And if you don't let money, I always say, don't let money be the reason why you can't join. Reach out and we can see if we can set up an energetic exchange. I am working with everybody's budget because I know I know the times we live in. So simplicity. The shadow is complexity. The Siddhi is quintessence. I worked with this book once. I'll make sure to put the definition of quintessence because I don't quite remember it. But I'm going to read what it states my gift to you is. Do you want to be happy? I'm here to encourage you to keep it simple and slow it all down. You don't have to solve every problem. Find the clutter in your mind and environment and then let it all go. Notice how much more relaxed your body becomes when you release yourself from having to figure it all out. I invite you to trust that life has its own way of dissolving knots. Imagine yourself up above your life, looking down. How many of the things you fret about truly need fretting? Drop into a deeper stillness. Go for a walk. Smell the flowers. Listen to the breeze. And while you listen, breathe deep into your belly and remind yourself that you don't have to have it all sorted out in your head. Try accepting the moment exactly as it is and see what happens. Beneath what you think is what you truly know. Let your knowing, gentle heart lead the way towards luscious simplicity. For me, I like this card a lot because it speaks on that mental energy that we got. So it's like, yeah, that chaos may be there, but our Ace of Swords energy is also there to cut through all the chaos to make it simple. Like, we can make things complex in our minds, especially when a lot of quote unquote crazy things are going on. Questions for contemplation. Our first question is, do you tend to get tongue-tied out of fear, talk too much, or say the wrong thing? That's our first question. I don't think we need a moment to reflect on that. I think y'all can kind of say, Straight up, if that's a yes or no. I can. I know, like, y'all just saw that and y'all had to make me be like, "Just say what you gotta say, child." And a lot of my reasoning is because, I should a lot of my reason is because I survived a cult, and we got a lot of stuff pushed on us, and not necessarily the Orisha energy, like, the Orisha components of it wasn't even the cult aspects of it, it was everything outside of it, those other practices that we had to do. So, I'm very mindful of how I engage and I inform people, like, I'm always talking to them from a space of, "It looks like this way for me, but it doesn't have to look like this way for you." And that's because I'm always of the belief if it has to be the way that you are saying it, like you as a person, then that's cult. Like, that's why when you go to churches and it's like, it has to be the way that the preacher say, s- it sounding like a cult to me. Um, so the information is the information, but we as people, we take it because our lives are different and we transform it to what it needs to be. The question was, do you tend to get tongue-tied out of fear, talk too much, or say the wrong thing? Oh, thank you, Taja. Especially when I feel rushed to make a decision that can affect others. That's real. Yes, that is very real. Mm. Another question is, have you learned to remain silent even though you have something to say? Do you rarely share what you're truly feeling and thinking? Jackie. Ooh. Have you learned to remain silent even though you have something to say? Do you rarely share what you're truly feeling and thinking? You used to bite your tongue a lot to keep the peace, Sean? I feel you on that too. I did as well, and a lot of times that can be because of childhood stuff. It may not have been safe for us to speak. And another question, she's very silly off the weed. Where are you making your life more complicated than it needs to be? Where is your life calling out for greater simplicity? And the last question is, pick an area of your life in need of decluttering. Commit to releasing something, a thought, feeling, object, relationship this week. Heavy on thoughts. Declutter your thoughts. Declutter your feelings. Declutter your relationships. But yeah, that is our shadow card, our shadow reading for this week. For me, this card resonates a lot for me because of the colors. When I look at them, I feel like I'm looking at the crown, I'm looking at the heart, and I'm looking at the throat. And so I'm thinking about my divine communication, my communication with my highest self, which is my crown. Um, 'Cause I know third eye too is purple, but for me, when I see this, I'm thinking crown. And I'm thinking heart too, with her head wrap being green. Today is Ogun Day. His colors are green and black. Her head wrap being green, we can't go to a state of abundance if our heart is closed. And if we're doing abundance planning today, once we get off this call and we ground our energy with this singing bowl, we're gonna have to make sure our heart remains open. Grounding work, when we do this grounding singing bowl, that will help us with connecting to the earth. Any root chakra work will help our minds be more at ease. That's another thing. People even externalize ancestor work. Your ancestors live in you. They're your blood and your bones. They experience what we experience. You don't just experience them at your altar. You experience them, and they're there every single moment. Um, so if our minds are unstable, it's because we need to do some more deep ancestral work, connecting to our people, connecting to yourself more deeply. I am going to push this to the side some type of way, so hold on. Please give me a moment. We transition to the singing bowl. Can y'all give me one word that you want to bring forth? And that word is what I will use to bring some intentional intentions to our space. I know, really quickly. Okay. I saw self-trust, beliefs, balance, devotion, abundance, peace. Heart opening is a struggle for you. Self-trust, beliefs, balance, devotion, abundance, peace, space, clarity. I'm going to do wholeness again. Ooh, okay. As always, get in a position that's comfortable for you. And during the process, just breathe normally. Just observe your natural breath. I trust myself. I didn't see my mind. Trust so trust in my ability to thrive. I do not allow my beliefs to take me away from my knowing. I am devoted to my path. Devotion comes naturally to me. Clarity comes naturally to me. Clarity is not a destination. It meets me forever. I trust in my ability to maintain balance in my relationships with myself, others, and my creations. I am an abundant being. I am at peace with myself. I am at peace in my body. I am at peace in my mind. My emotions bring me peace. Life is peaceful. My business is naturally and with ease. I am grateful for my spaciousness. I have the space to create, to feel, to grow. And in my wholeness, I am abundant. I am at peace. I am devoted. To transfer everything I need is already within me. I am abundant. Clarity is easily maintained. I do not have to search for it. It never leaves me. My life is naturally sweet. I am naturally abundant. Devotion comes easy to me. I am connected to my womb. Live an abundant life. Live an intentional life. I am at peace with all of my perceived flaws, mistakes, and transgressions. I transmute them now. I elevate them now. I love myself. I honor myself through my devotion. I maintain perfect balance, equilibrium. I reclaim my abundance. I reclaim my trust in myself. My beliefs align with my knowing. I reclaim my devotion. I reclaim my peace. I reclaim my space. Begin to bring your attention back to your body. Wiggle your toes and your fingers. And when you're ready, let me know how that was for everyone. I know some people had to go, but let me know, y'all, how when you're able to. Most Sundays it's not this long because we don't have the new moon or the full moon, so we can just focus on the sound healing. And I do a reading beforehand, but it's not that long either. But when we do our shadow work, we gotta take some time. Ashe. Ashe for the lightness. I saw where you had mentioned earlier that the heart was difficult for you to stay open. Thank you. Thank you. I was gonna say to you in that regard, because our heart is our space where the only space where no suffering exists, right? The suffering exists in our bottom three and it affects everything that's above. So usually when we have heart blockage though, difficult opening up, staying open. It's like in our womb. So, when it says connect with your womb, Misha, I want you to be intentional about womb work and your relationship with water in general. Like when you do your baths, are you doing like self-love baths? Like what type of baths? If you, we can also talk offline. We don't have to be on here. Thank you, Taja. I don't like the end, mama. Oh wow, blood clots. He needed this to last long. I'm sorry, mama. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do a 60-minute one and record it just for you because you. The herbs that I'm gonna put in this one, I'm gonna also put one for a bath that I think will also be good for you to do some heart work. So I'll do some one for the wounds, and then you'll see one that says like self-love bath herbs as well. And then next Sunday I'll do the heart chakra singing bowl. I think next Sunday. I know for sure February 1st I'm doing a heart chakra because the full moon's in Leo. I don't know what next Sunday is, but I'm gonna do one. I'll do that for you. Um, you're welcome, Mama. You're welcome, Misha. But thank y'all so much for joining. Again, every Sunday for paid subscribers, I'm here. New moons and full moons, I'm doing the reading. Wednesdays, I'm live for all subscribers, and that's when we talk about some deep stuff. Um, and I do appreciate all of y'all for joining. Again, I do have a cohort going on that starts on February 1st. And if money is an issue, feel free to reach out to me. Let me know, and we can work something out. I believe in energetic exchanges. Amen and ashe. See y'all Wednesday. Peace. Thank you.